longitude and latitude, let us understand that this is a equatorial plane you all are familiar with. So equatorial plane is the reference point from which we start with the zero. Okay, so this is our earth globe. So you can say this is a vertical center point of the globe, which is called as equator. Similarly, if we see, sorry, this is the horizontal middle point of the globe called as equator. If we see the vertical middle point, so this is a globe. If you open out the map of a globe like this, so this circular map, if I make it horizontal, you have seen this horizontal world map during your school days. So whichever is the middle line, that is called as the prime meridian. That is called as a prime meridian. So many cities, mainly in US, falls on this prime meridian. Okay. So you can have a more search on prime meridian if you want, but all you are knowing with the prime meridian. So this is a prime meridian and this is the equator. Now suppose we are interested to find out the angle of latitude and longitude at a particular point on a globe. So let us consider this as a point for which we are interested to find out the angle of latitude or longitude. Then if we join a line from that point to the center of the earth and projection of that point on the equatorial plane. So this is the projection of the point on the equatorial plane. So if we consider the angle between this line and this line called as phi, then this angle is angle of latitude. Okay. So it is again measured with reference to the equatorial plane. So by definition, it is called as a vertical angle between the point connecting to the center of earth and its projection on the equatorial plane. So this is the angle. So your angle of latitude could be towards north or could be towards south. So if it is towards north, it is positive. If it is towards south, it is negative, and it is measured from equatorial plane. So here, if we measure this angle phi, let us say it is 55 degree 37 north. So n is given for north. So latitude angle is towards north or towards south. I hope you have understood it because it is the simplest way I can express. Now the next is longitudinal angle denoted by lambda. So if we measure the angle between the equatorial plane projection of that point and the another point is a prime meridian, then that horizontal angle is called as lambda or a longitude angle, and it is measured from prime meridian. So if we move towards the east, it is indicated by east. If it is say at this point, then it will be towards west, so it will be indicated by west. So towards east is positive, towards west is negative. So this was one of the important definition that we were interested to study as per the syllabus. So whatever we have studied just now, angle of latitude. So it is a vertical angle between the line joining the point on earth location to the center of earth and its projection on the equatorial plane. So point joining the center of earth and its projection on equatorial plane. So angle between these 2 points connected to the center of earth, this angle is nothing but angle of latitude. It could be towards north or it could be towards south. If it is towards north, it is positive. If it is towards south, it is negative. Then angle of altitude or longitude is the angular distance from the prime meridian to a point on the Earth's surface. Okay, so it is a point on the prime meridian and the earth's surface on the equatorial plane. So this horizontal angle is called as longitude or altitude. So this could be either on the east or the west depending on which way we are measuring from the prime meridian. So it is indicated by capital E or capital W depending upon where that angle falls. Now let us move to the next definition, which is the declination angle. So we have studied in our previous sessions that the earth is rotating around its axis and also around the sun, but it is, I mean, the axis of the center of the earth is not a vertical line, but it is tilted by some angle. So that angle is called as the declination angle. So you will study various definitions in various books as well as on Google also. So I'll tell you the simplest definition. It is the angle between the line joining the sun and earth and its projection on the equatorial plane. Now consider this diagram. This is the sun. So this is the sun falling on the earth. This is the center of the earth. So line joining the sun and earth. So this is a line joining the sun and earth. Okay. And its projection on the equatorial plane. This is the equatorial plane. So this angle is called as the declination angle. So at different time of the day and different month of the day, this declination angle is going to get vary obviously. So I have shown here three positions. See the central position where sun axis and the earth axis both are coinciding each other. Hence the declination angle here is 0 degree. Here I have shown positive angle towards north. Here I have shown another position of the sun where declination angle is towards the south, which is negative angle. So this diagram also we have studied in our previous sessions. So earth is rotating around its axis as well as around the sun. So on 22nd of December, we have the declination angle as minus 23.45 degree. So position of the sun and earth is somewhat like this with this angle as 23.45. Whereas on 21st June, we have positive 23.45 degree. This is the largest declination angle that we get throughout the year. This is positive peak and this is negative peak point. Then on 22nd March, we have zero declination as well as on 23rd September, we have zero declination. So all you are familiar with your geography subject, Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, right? So these are the two halves distributed throughout the whole year. Half of 6 months it is Dakshinayan, half year it is Uttarayan, okay? Now the same declination angle variation is shown in this graph. Vertical axis y-axis shows the declination angle and horizontal axis shows the months of the year. So if we observe, this is March where we have 0, 22nd March, 0 declination angle. Then this is another 0 crossing point which is September 23rd where we have 0 declination angle. So declination angle is 0, we have night and day time same, okay, and this is the positive peak which comes in summer, okay, which is June 21st, and this is a negative peak which is minus 23.45 degree which occurs on December 22nd, okay. So this is December 22nd. Now the formula for this declination angle is 23.45 into sine of 360 upon 365 into 284 plus n, where n are the number of days. For example, now actually there is a derivation for this delta, but you don't have this derivation as per your syllabus. Only we have to solve some numericals. So I'm directly going to the formula. So this 360 is 360 degrees. 365 are number of days in a year. This comes as a constant 284 and n are the number of days. For example, we are calculating the declination angle, say on 10th of January. Okay, so number of days we have to calculate. So number of days are 10 for January. So we will put here 10 and we will find out the delta. Suppose it is 10 Feb, then 31 days of January plus 10 days of February. That way, number of days will be calculated. N are the number of days that we will calculate. So when we will solve the numericals based on this, we will again go in detail with application of this formula. Okay. Now next definition is the R angle. So R angle, so as we know the time in India and time in any other country is always different. So that we have to match with the geometry of the sun and earth. So there is a concept called R angle. It is the angle representing the sun position with respect to 12 noon. So 12 noon is taken as a reference. So we are interested to find out the sun position with the reference of 12 noon. So it is the angle through which earth must rotate so that meridian at a point comes into alignment of the sun ray. So we have to align it, and whatever is the angle, that is called as the sun angle. So it is 15 degrees per hour. Now we'll take an example. So R angle is equal to 15 in bracket 12 plus minus LST, where LST is the local solar time. Okay. For example, we are calculating so R angle at 10 a.m. in the morning. So you have to consider the 24-hour clock. So at 10 a.m. in the morning, this is equal to 15 in bracket 12 minus 10 is equal to 12 minus 10 will be 2, 15 to the 30. So it is 30 degree. Okay. So our angle will be 30 degree. So as I said, it is 15 degree per hour. So it comes out to be 30 degree at 10 a.m. Now suppose we are calculating at 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. means 12 plus 2. So it will be 14 hours. So it will be 15 in bracket 12 minus 14. Okay. So it will be minus 2. So it will be minus 30 degree. So this is how we are interested to find out the R angle. We need this formula while solving the numericals. Then there is zenith angle and solar constant. So zenith angle is the angle of sun relative to the line perpendicular to the earth's surface. Okay, this is the angle between the line perpendicular to the earth's surface and sun. This is called as the zenith angle, denoted by Z. Okay. Now solar constant, we already have studied the solar constant before. That time someone asked me the difficulty, is there any formula for solar constant? So yes, we can calculate the approximate equation relating to variation of sinusoidal solar constant with time of the year, and this is given by ISC, which is a solar constant. It is taken as 1353 watt per meter square in bracket 1 plus 0.033 into cos of 360 upon 365 into n. Again, n are the number of days of the year. So if it is in the month of January, say 20th January, n will be 20. If it is in say March, say 10th March, you have to, n will be January 31 days, February 28 or 29 days, depending upon whether it is a leap year or not, and then March 10 days. So additively you have to take the n, put that value here, and then you can calculate the approximate value of the solar constant, and that you can use while solving the numericals.